way too safe. Not enough is being experimented with. The skills are not a significant deviation from what we already have in game right now. Fact is, Occult Crescent is a siloed off zone with so much potential to be a safe testing chamber for kind of experimentation that we need in this game. What we are seeing right now is the developers actively wasting the single best opportunity that we have for genuine gameplay shakeups in the future of Final Fantasy XIV, and that does disappoint me. I want to see the passion oozing out of the future Phantom jobs, because apparently we're getting more in patch 7.4 and 7.5, so I'm making this video right now and real clear. I want to see every one of their skills just to be a blazing, roaring fire of verve and zeal and spice and uniqueness to just leave me on the floor. I want to see it Gommage my wig. I want it to throw me onto the ground, slap me, spit on me, and for me to go into Occult Crescent just to play that stupid Phantom job, because it is so revolutionary, so boundary breaking, and passionate in Final Fantasy XIV. And this is a game. Final Fantasy XIV, much as I love it, it is bound to the point that it is choking from the 2-minute meta, the homogenization of jobs and job identity being erased and just cracked down everywhere. And it's like, why do all healers have 30-second damage over time effect and spam one button? Why doesn't Astor instead have time dilation instead of that? Same effect of adding our DPS. Like, but there's no flavor, there's no vibe, there's no zest. It's all so formulaic. And that's the word that I want to use to describe this. It's formulaic. I don't want formulaic anymore. I'm sick of formulaic, especially when the zone is siloed off. I want passion. Gommage my wig. There is my opening statement, but hey guys, I want to have a very candid conversation about the state of Phantom jobs in Occult Crescent. That opening statement is a tiny fraction of so much that I have to say here. This is the video that I know a lot of you have been waiting for, and you're gonna get it, because honest to God, I think that this is the one opportunity we might have for someone to say fucking anything that could impact 7.4 and 7.5 Phantom jobs. So baby, I'm gonna say it because I love this game way too fucking much to let this slide. In fact, I'm gonna gommage some of your wigs with what I'm about to say here, because I am not gonna hold back. Occult Crescent Phantom jobs are a very cool idea, and I mean that in earnest, but once again we're being hamstrung in design. It is formulaic, it is being pruned, it is being homogenized. This is an instanced blocked off part of the game, and what happens in Occult Crescent stays in Vegas. I mean Occult Crescent. We don't need to worry about the slipping in and interfering with an ultimate raid, or a savage raid, or what have you. What if it breaks Palace of the Dead? We don't have that concern here. So what is the excuse? And that's what I am interpreting it as. An excuse, a lack of passion, a strict adherence to a formula that we've already seen. Why are we not experimenting with temporary pet summons like what World of Warcraft Discipline Police can do with their Shadow Pet? Why are we not experimenting with systems like damage over time effects that have been pruned from the game? Why does Geomancer, who is known for area control with their Calor's zones, not placing zones? That's so disappointing as someone who has been excited for Geomancer since Astrologian's Stormblood job quests mentioned Geomancer non-stop. And bro, I am not the only one that feels this way. I have talked to so many people, and it's like, yeah, Geomancer we were really excited for, and what the fuck? Why are we not experimenting with other things, like placing down totems, an entire concept, an idea popularized by World of Warcraft Shaman? And you cannot tell me that World of Warcraft Shaman is not an iconic, amazing, and well-played, very popular job in that game. You would be hard-pressed to convince me otherwise. Why are we not experimenting with ideas like applying Zenyatta's heal over time orb onto a target, and then say like a disciplined priest from World of Warcraft with atonement, and have every instance of damage you do heal a target with atonement on them? Why are there no Necromancer abilities allowing us to raise the dead in there? We literally have Palace of the Dead, a Necromancer title, a Necromancer boss fight from Hero's Gauntlet, from Shadowbringers Dungeon, and no experimentation this way at all? On that note, why are we just not experimenting, even if it's not called a Necromancer, but a Phantom job all about summoning minions, or a minion swarms here? That is such a cool concept. That's a popular one. Diablo series, the ARPG series. It's literally one of the most popular archetypes out of there. People fucking love minion swarms. I'm one of them. Hell, what about Phantom Puppetmaster? This is one of the most cool, most iconic jobs for Final Fantasy XI that people absolutely have heard about for years and years and years. We have items in game that you can buy for Samurai and Chemist that a stack of 99 of the basic ones costs 1,000,000 gil, and Chemist 300,000 a pop for Elixir. Give us Phantom Puppetmaster, where we're gonna put together highly expensive items from the shop together to make a custom pet for us. Who watched the show Metabots from back in the day? Make us bring in like a Puppetmaster thing where we're gonna make our own custom robot that has its own custom functionality functionalities and features that we can tailor for whatever we want to do. That is the exact type of passionate, absolute madman experimental shit that I'd hope for in an instance off form of content like this, especially when Final Fantasy XIV outside of this is being strangled by homogenization of the 2-minute window. Like, it could have even its own achievements if you had Phantom Puppetmaster and you unlock all the parts from the shop. That's an achievement. Bam! The content writes itself when you have passion. The content literally writes itself. But I must continue, but like, Phantom Puppetmaster would be the shit. Why isn't that a thing when Phantom Ranger is devolving into yet another fucking boring 2-minute meta burst window cooldown? That is what Phantom Ranger goes to. People are like, oh my god, Phantom Ranger is so revolutionary. It's a fucking cooldown to the 2-minute meta window. Fuck me. I'm bored. It is so boring at this point. I am bored of Phantom Ranger. It is so formulaic and lacking any passion. When I did the tier list, I had to actually pull myself back and not just put it in fuck off tier. Did you know that? I was so bored of it. Oh yay, this is my revolutionary gameplay. Another fucking 2-minute meta window buff. Great. Like, I'm wondering where the passion is for this. Why am I more passionate about this than, like, whoever decided this was okay? This is just boring. Why not experiment with a phantom job revolving around 3 core damage over time effect abilities that apply in different ways, and then 2 skills that interact with them, like, say, Malefic Rapture from World of Warcraft with the Affliction Warlock, or our own Summoner's Fester ability that we used to have in-game. And, yes, we did used to have an ability that scaled off of the amount of damage over time effects we had. Summoner used to have it before the great pruning of my DPS job, which I still don't have a DPS in this game ever since. Why is it that our current most interesting Phantom job includes Cannoneer? And that is a literal 3 buttons that you get to simply do upfront burst of damage. Or Oracle, with as much flash and show as the predictability has, it's literally just AoE damage. That's what people are only using it for. It is literally just AoE damage. That's all. Their Starfall ability. And yet again, that's what most are boiling down to. Phantom Job does a big boom on a single button. Same for Samurai's Zenonage and Ianuki abilities. They're just big damage button goes boom. Wow, if I wanted that, I could literally play any of the jobs right now. Oh my god, Starfall for Dragoon is revolutionary. Oh my god, reassemble drill on Machinist is revolutionizing the game. That's what it reads off. We've already got these abilities. Boring. We need different. Or Geomancer, like I mentioned before, has no zoning, no colors, and instead we have a float ability that doesn't even friggin' work for critical engagements that have a clear earth AoE telegraphs, like the command pot. That's a clear earth telegraph. Or what about the line with the wind and earth orbs? It is literally only working for the critical engagement with statues. What the flying hell. And then Geomancer has 2 tragically underwhelming buffs through the ringing abilities, ringing, respite, and battle bell. Like, I'm so disappointed with it that I can tell you that off the top of my head. What the hell has happened? Where are the colors? Where's the zoning? And on the note of Geomancer, why in any of the name of hells is Phantom Jobs literally getting traits that literally only exist to boost the strength of the existing abilities on the Phantom Job? Like Geomancer's trait that literally just buffs the healing by a marginal amount on Ringing Respite, and then the damage by a marginal amount on Battle Bell. Like, why is this not just baked into the base kit? This is just throwaway. This is garbage. This is not what I want to see. This is awful. Why is an entire level of a Phantom Job being dedicated to this bullshit instead of some gameplay shakeup? And I know that some people are going to be like, blah, 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 blah. I hope you can see that I only say this because I am passionate for this game. I love this game. I've been playing it for a decade. I don't make money off of this channel. Like, I'm sinking money into this channel. Like, people are like, oh my god, you're grifting. It's like, fuck off. Like, I am going negative consistently on this channel. But I love this game so much, and I am so sick and tired of the homogenization. I am sick of the fact that damage over time effects have been essentially removed from the game, aside from the symbolic, why the fuck does every healer need a 30-second cooldown when, like, my god. But aside from that, any meaningful damage over time effects or interaction with them have been removed from the game. We've seen pets be completely pruned from Summoner, where it's literally just a graphic with a piece of damage on it. We have so much uniqueness chipped and torn away that when I check out the Phantom Job system, I'm completely unsurprised, but disappointed nonetheless. But did you notice I said the word unsurprised? Because it's so fucking formulaic at this point. Like, do you remember that Titan, for the old players that played, do you remember that Titan actually was used to tank Ramuh? And then I tell new players that, and they're like, oh, what the fuck do you mean it's a Titan? And then I need to show them, and they're like, oh, what the fuck is that chicken nugget? We used to have cool shit. It's all been pruned. Like, my main is Scholar. Do you think I am not aware that 99% of my fucking casts are on the one button? Literally, one button. Literally, the one. Like, it's broil spam. And is it not sad that I, myself, in my tier list, I put Cannoneer in S tier, that it is the one that if you're seeing me in Occult Crescent right now that I'm running with, just because it provided 3 more buttons for me, myself, to press that weren't fucking broil. I think that's sad. They are boring upfront damage on the GCD, big damage buttons, essentially boiling to drill or a fucking chainsaw on Machinist. That's what they boil down to. And that is so sad because it at least shakes up the monotony of broil spam somewhat. The bar is on the floor at this point. The bar is literally on the floor. That is why when people tell me, oh my god, isn't the mark interesting? Phantom Kick is a 27% damage buff. It has gommaged my wig. It has slain me, girl. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It is an off the GCD gap closer like we have a billion of. And it has a damage buff on it. That is meant to make me shit myself and throw my hands up in the air and scream, oh my god, that's revolutionary, girl. That's pushing the boundaries of game design. I'm going to be the prick here. I think much higher of our developers on Final Fantasy XIV. I would be insulted if you thought that was the best I could do. So I will ask for more. If I didn't think we could get more, I wouldn't waste my time doing this video. Do you hear me talking about things like Assassin's Creed Shadows? No. Did you hear me talking about Concord? No. Did you hear me talking about any of the other dog shit games that I don't give a fuck about because the developers don't give a shit? No. Because I don't play them. I don't care. Where Final Fantasy XIV I have a lot more hope for. Phantom jobs, more than Boja actions, are also pre-packaged into groups of skills, which is another layer of keeping them incredibly tame and predictable. Say that we had the Phantom Necromancer. It could have layers of abilities that summons minions and then interacts with those minions, such as the ability 1 summons 2 small necro minions for you, and if you press the same ability will make them rush a target and corpse explosion on it. And this isn't that revolutionary of a concept. There are so many games that do that, and then you can resummon those pets 30 seconds later. An ability that pushes trade-offs and decisions onto the player. Ability 2 summons a tanky one with its own on-click effect that otherwise has a small aggro generation, so the Necromancer could even be a pseudo-tank. Oh my god, imagine that. We haven't had that in years. Like I was talking about tanking Ramu, we haven't had that in years. And Final Fantasy XIV would, like we literally had it. And that's the frustrating thing. Ability 3 and 4, I'm gonna just skip over. Why? Not because I couldn't go and create one, but because people will be like, oh, you're spending a billion hours on a freaking Necromancer. But, like, talk about ability 5, like the capstone, the grand ability for Necromancer in Occult Crescent. Something cool, something passionate. Let's be fucked here. Because it's not going to be something we see outside of Occult Crescent. When you kill an enemy in Occult Crescent, you have the option to press the 5 button and raise that to fight for you for a short period of time. Until their life force dissipates. Say it's a 2-minute cooldown, lasting 30 seconds until the body dies. That's cool. That would be engaging, and imagine that on, say, a gold farm in Occult Crescent. What if you, before a critical engagement, just bring in a mob, you knock it out, and then you bring that into the critical engagement? That is fucking cool. Now we're testing minions. We're testing if players will sacrifice with the ability 1 a small amount of sustained damage, consistent sustained damage for large burst damage, with the trade-off that now it's on cooldown, you have none of that sustained damage. We are now making gold farming fascinating because we're taking control of a weakened level 28 monster we knocked out. That is cool. That is intuitive. That is testing new features. That is what I want out of a Phantom job. That is passion. What about a Phantom job that has all 5 of its skills revolving around healing abilities through dealing damage? Again and again, I can't emphasize how disappointed I am that I don't see this level of experimentation. This is the perfect, the ideal chamber to experiment. You see it in Fate open world gameplay with single mobs. You see it through critical engagements with not quite a raid thing, and then you have Fork Tower, which is the raid thing. You literally could thoroughly experiment with these ideas. And that's what drives me fucking crazy. You could see it across so many layers of content, and then you could be like, hey, this idea really was cool. It really resonated with players, and then make it actually a thing in future jobs or future reworks or whatever. Hell, maybe you try out a minion thing, and then you're like, you know what, why don't we add like a little pet dragon to Dragoon or something? This obviously extends to other things like, say, a Shaman placing totems. That extends to damage over time effects with a caster testing damage over time effect kit. But again, instead, we have Oracle, where the coolest part of its kit is the fact that, oh my god, I can wait either 3 or 6 or 9 seconds until I press Starfall that just does damage. and it has a worse version of XCOG on it that it can place on itself. And I meant to or how to say, I have people literally telling me, oh, that's unreasonable. You shouldn't be disappointed. It's so revolutionary. And I'm like, brother, what the fuck are you talking about that Oracle's revolutionary? You can't be fucking serious. And then they're flailing their arms and being like, oh my god, big AoE does damage, oh my god, you're Gommage in my wig. Really? We have so many big damage AoE buttons, like, please. And we are not even getting into Beastmaster here because we will be here for another half hour. And the fact that we should have pet jobs that we test because in World of Warcraft, it as Beastmaster Hunter is one of their most played, most iconic jobs, most beloved jobs by their player base. There is Petopia, a literal website that has been up for a bajillion years that is purely dedicated to World of Warcraft pets. This is beloved. This is something that players clearly want. And I'm limiting myself in this video, but I am incredibly unhappy that it is being seen as only a limited job when World of Warcraft, the direct competitor, has it since its conception and functional Beastmaster that is being taken into Mythic Raids, Mythic Plus, and so on. Why are we not testing that in here? Why are pet jobs not being tested? Your number one competitor, World of Warcraft, has pets that includes temporary summons like Disciplined Priest summons, just to name one, but Disciplined Priest applies atonement to the group, summons its pet, and it does ass tons of healing. None of that is being tested here. So I'll say one last time in this video, Occult Crescent, I state, is a sealed off, safe instance for experimentation in the game. There's no better testing ground than Occult Crescent. You see it through multiple layers of gameplay, whether it is in the field mobs, whether it is fates, because that's what they are, whether it is critical engagements, whether it is going to be in Fort Tower with a raid scenario with coordination between people. To the developers, I clearly love you and your game. You should know that at this point. And to put this video out there, I am hoping that this gets to you before 7.4 or 7.5. I need you to be bolder, not safer. It's like what LeBlanc said in that one League of Legends cinematic. We need to be bolder, not safer. I want you to push the envelope. I want you to experiment. I want you to test out the weird shit that you're scared to put into the game because what if it breaks the game? This is a perfect chance for you to test it. And I really, really, honestly hope that you do test it. As someone who loves your game, as someone who is clearly passionate about it, who is someone who goes negative every fucking month on a YouTube channel, that does time and work on this channel where I am losing money on this. This isn't a money game. I am just so passionate about this product, so passionate about this game, that like I literally friggin' do the shit. Like, I don't need to. I literally don't need to. I'm a software engineer. And like, it's like, what the fuck? I don't get it. I'm disappointed. And I suppose that is why this video is now almost 20 minutes long. And that means no one's gonna fucking watch it because everyone has told me in the comments, oh my god, we only want like a 2-minute video. Well, I'm sorry that I'm not a TikToker. I'm not a TikToker. I don't even use TikTok. So, here is the video. And I know a lot of people have been wondering, where's the video? Ta-da.